the gentle sea breeze, soft sand, and beckoning surf. As dawn breaks over America, can't you feel it? We chose this serene and natural setting to begin our tour of one of America's most dynamic cities, where within a short time, this beautiful beach will become a mecca of sun worshipers. Welcome to Greater Fort Lauderdale, the Venice of America.
Visitors traditionally flock to Greater Fort Lauderdale with visions of endless beaches, palm trees, and an inviting Atlantic Ocean. While the beach is still a major draw for the over 4 million tourists who visit here every year, and the nearly 1 million local residents who are increasingly drawn to more sophisticated attractions. Hi, I'm Mary Zilba, and I invite you to come with me as we show you some of this area's finest attractions. So whether you know Fort Lauderdale from years past or visiting for the first time, we'll show you Fort Lauderdale like you've never seen it before. Well, you'll see what I mean. Boating is one of Fort Lauderdale's favorite pastimes. The beauty of it is, everyone approaches the sport differently, as Venetian explorers never had it so good. In fact, one can charter a legendary yacht for $1,700 plus for a 4-hour trip, or see the same sights economically and easily aboard a rental boat where you can be the captain. Rent a jet ski, or possibly a dinghy with an electric motor. Here in Fort Lauderdale, it's a renter's haven. So if you dare to be at the helm, the Club Nautico's got the boat for you.
All vessels are 1988 or 1989 Chris Crafts, Wellcraft, and 4-Wind, and all have reliable 155 horsepower Johnson or Evinrude motors. Rentals are available to members as well as non-members, so you and your crew can spend a leisurely day up to 15 miles offshore pursuing game fish, exploring the beauty and color of the reefs, cruising the Intracoastal, or just laying in the sun. All of our boats are maintained by our well-trained staff to provide you with the most inexpensive and carefree boating available in the area. Now, there are boats you can rent and those that you can't, such as the fabulous Trump Princess, which has been moored at Fort Lauderdale for most of the winter, and this has become a big attraction for sightseers.
Naturally, the Atlantic Ocean is the focal point for the many residents and visitors with a love of boating. A glance at any marina will attest to the fact. Traversing Broward's waterways is quite a different experience than ocean-going, as Fort Lauderdale is the Venice of America with 300 miles of navigable waterways. The Intracoastal is no lazy river. Boaters visit here not for therapeutic solitude, but rather to catch the energy of an unusual community dedicated to the splendor of life on the water. The pace is quick, sometimes breathtaking. If you're simply out for the sights, the Intracoastal Waterways has plenty to absorb, including Millionaire's Row and the Hillsborough's Lighthouse. For some boaters, the Intracoastal is the path for a movable feast that can take an indeterminate amount of time to complete, sampling all the waterfront eateries along the way. We highly suggest Docksiders, located in the Guest Quarter Suite Hotel. If beaches and boating don't fit your fancy, after a delicious lunch, what do you say I take you across the street to something that will?
Welcome at Saxford Avenue, the Galleria.
Thank you. You know, finding a true specialty store is like finding a diamond in the rough. And finding just the right thing to wear to all those important functions seems always impossible. But here at Saks Fifth Avenue at the Galleria, extraordinary merchandise, style, and ambiance will steal your breath away. So here's to Saks Fifth Avenue and you. Cheers.
Well, Mary, here at Saks Fifth Avenue, we want to portray the image that we are the national premier specialty store in the country, and we are the fashion leaders and the fashion headquarters for a great many designers that we have in the store, that we carry their collections throughout the years. Customers expect to see wonderful designer merchandise at Saks Fifth Avenue, and they also expect a very high level of customer service when they come into the store. We like to make our customers feel very comfortable, as if they're in their own homes when they're shopping at Saks. We have a wonderful skincare line, Terma de Saturnia, which is exclusively at Saks Fifth Avenue, which we're very excited about. Terma de Saturnia is a 3,000-year-old skincare line brought here from Italy, from the hills of Tuscany, Italy, where they have these wonderful therapeutic springs and spas. And through the therapeutic waters in the spas, a wonderful skincare line has been developed, which is totally developed and researched in Italy and packaged in Italy and brought here to Saks Fifth Avenue, to you, to this country. Mary, we'd like to thank you for being with us today at Saks in the Galleria, and I have this lovely gift to give you from the cosmetic department. We have these gifts available for our viewers if they just come into our cosmetic department and tell us that they've seen us on the videotape. We'd like to give these to you.
Here in Fort Lauderdale, you can wear anything from fashion fun to evening elegance. Because when the sun goes down, the bright life turns into the nightlife.
When the rhythm starts to play, dance with me, make me sway. I like the lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. I like that flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me, stay with me, sway with me.
Having a great time in Fort Lauderdale is no gamble, and if wagering is your thing, you'll find plenty of action here at Pompano Park. That you can bet on. Pompano Park, known as the winter capital of harness racing, is celebrating its 25th anniversary. 25 years of some of the best racing in the country. The park is home to the top stables as well as the top trotters and pacers in the sport. In fact, the highlight of Pompano's spring season, the $150,000 Floridian Pace, will be previewed in several outstanding 3-year-old events in the spring. The park has grown in stature from a sleepy little southern winter track to a forerunner in the racing industry. And one place where you'll always come up a winner is at the clubhouse. When it comes to fine food, there's no gamble here. Racing season is October through May with evening races only, beginning at 7:30 p.m. The track is closed Sundays. Remember, if you have plans to take the family out, Pompano Park allows children under the age of 18 to attend.
Too much for one night? There's always tomorrow.
Where can you find roosters, peacocks, alligators, big black bears named Jojo, and orange juice? Well, you might think at the Metro Zoo, but actually, we're at Spike's Groves, and it's not your typical groves. So next I'm going to take you on a tour to show you why.
Spike's Grove has been growing and selling some of the best citrus in Florida for over 40 years. And there's quite a variety of things to do here. You can take a stroll through the tropical gardens, visit a big bear named Jojo, along with an alligator, raccoon, peacocks, roosters, and turtles. And be sure to visit their fun-filled gift shop. Let's take a look inside.
But if oranges are your thing, they have it in the bag. But don't stop there. They have grapefruits, tangerines, nuts, jams and jellies, and they can ship them anywhere in the country.
So next time you're in the mood for orange juice or just want to visit a big black bear named Jojo, come visit Spike's Grove.
As a popular resort area, Broward County has been showing people how to have fun for almost a century. There is a wealth of leisure activities to choose from, for your kids and for the kid in you. Just west of town is the world-famous Everglades, 5,000 miles of wilderness teeming with wildlife as unspoiled today as the days of the early explorers. Water plays a dominant role in the life of both residents and visitors. Take a plunge, paddle, dive, surf, parasail, water ski, or soak up rays on 23 miles of sun-drenched sand.
And here's a tip from our friends at Native Tan. The Florida sun can be very dangerous, so take caution when you're applying lotion. Make sure you start out step by step with a sun protection factor of about 22 and work your way down to the oils. Another tip is if you go into the ocean, make sure that you take a shower in one of the freshwater showers alongside of the beach. That way you'll take off all the salt water and you can reapply your lotion after that.
It may come as a surprise to some, but art flourishes in a sunny climate, as Broward County boasts a rich, varied, and eclectic art scene, supporting several museums and restorations of pioneer houses, such as the Bonnet House, and the oldest structure in Fort Lauderdale, the Stranahan House. There's also the Discovery Center, where visitors just don't see exhibits, they explore them. There are performing arts, such as Broadway and off-Broadway plays. The Philharmonic Orchestra, which attracts outstanding guests, as well as a complete season of children's concerts, school programs, and pop concerts. An expanding group of collectors, new galleries, and a growing community of new and established artists who have made their homes here, all contributing to a rapidly emerging art scene. Now let's talk sports. Greater Fort Lauderdale has over 75 golf courses, more than 550 tennis courts. Or, if you'd rather be a spectator, check out thoroughbred racing, harness racing, greyhounds, and highlife. And when you're feeling lucky, there's pari-mutuel betting. And this area is the winter home of the New York Yankees and the permanent home of the Swimming Hall of Fame. Now, getting back to those golf courses.
South Florida is known for some of the finest golf courses in the world, and today we are visiting Colony West Country Club, which is not only beautiful, as you can see, but rated in the top 50 golf courses in the United States and number 2 in Florida. This hole, number 12, has been rated many times as one of the most beautiful and picturesque, and I might add, difficult in the USA. It's a slight dogleg left, then a long iron over the wooden bridge and a wide expanse of water to an undulating green surrounded by traps. The entire course is absolutely magnificent, which has been the tradition of a Bruce Devlin von Hagge layout. I don't know about you, but just being on a championship course of this caliber in itself is very relaxing and enjoyable. But most courses like this are not available to non-members. They are very, very private. Not so here. Colony West is now open to the public. If you're here visiting, or you are a resident, come on out and see and play one of America's great golf courses. Golf is not the only attraction here. The clubhouse facilities are top flight. The pro shop has outstanding values, including lessons. The all-new dining area has become a very popular spot, even for non-golfers. Come treat yourselves to a first-class day at a first-class country club. Colony West, off Commercial Boulevard in Tamarack. One of the most interesting attractions in the greater Fort Lauderdale area isn't likely to attract most visitors and tourists at all. It's the relatively new city of Coral Springs, located just northwest of Fort Lauderdale.
More than a dozen miles from the beaches and various meccas for tourists and retirees, Coral Springs has blossomed from a drawing board to Broward County's 4th largest city. This community specializes in year-round living and working for upscale executives and professionals with families.
Representative of the newer developments, you'll find a variety of well-planned quality developments, from modest to magnificent. One very special community where luxury homes are setting the trend is Eagle Trace, built with the touch and feel of excellence, offering a distinguished selection of lifestyles. Eagle Trace is clearly an example of the superior quality you'll find in a Coral Springs community. But aside from its beautiful subdivisions, Coral Springs is art shows and festivals, playgrounds and picnics, activities for children, and community business.
Coral Springs, a place of new beginnings and positive actions. Hometown America, with more land than Manhattan, but rustic suburbia at its finest, with homes, restaurants, shopping centers, and some of the finest golf courses in southern Florida. Coral Springs, a community with an elegance all its own.
It's attractive, interesting, and available. Visit any day of the year or write for helpful literature. Fort Lauderdale is by anyone's standards a very special place, with many fine restaurants to choose from. And selecting the cream of the crop was not an easy task. But have you ever been someplace that you've never